Hi guys, I want to start with a question. Now, have you ever been to a restaurant, picked up the menu, and then been completely overwhelmed by the choices on that menu? And have you ever been to a restaurant, picked up the menu, been completely overwhelmed, and then just sort of reverted back to the basic choice that you normally have, you know, the old choice, the one, if you were at an Indian restaurant, you just have your tikka masala, or you just decide what your friend's having? I think we've all been in that place, right? So, my video for you today is all about what you're going to do in January. Now, would you agree that when you lift up that menu and there's about 100 different choices on it, you feel very overwhelmed? You kind of go, oh God, what the hell do I want? There's so much choice. There's too much choice, I have no idea what I want. So you kind of revert back to old thinking, old habits. When you've gone before, you think, oh, you know, the tikka masala is fine, that's safe, I'll go for that. Or you go for what your friend's having, because your friend, you kind of trust what your friend's going to say, so you say, oh yeah, I'll go for that as well. We've all been in that situation, right? So my point is, January comes, you're already probably thinking, right, maybe I'm going to start my juicing, maybe I'm going to start my yoga again, maybe I'm going to start my resistance training, maybe I'm going to, I'm going to go shopping once a week and I'm going to get everything I need, and I'm going to write lists, and I'm going to plan all my food, I'm going to take all this time to focus on me again because, it's January and I need a new start. How many of you are thinking that way? Because, I start thinking that way, but then I remember it doesn't really work for me. And hopefully my message will come across to you guys, so what I've learned will help you. So, where am I going with this? Right, January comes and you're already thinking of about 10 different things to go and do. Does it sound quite familiar to the restaurant again, So we've got 10 different things we want to start doing, and you've got 10 different things on the menu, whatever. But the point is, in January, how many times have you in the past decided, right, that's it now, I'm full of motivation, I'm going to go and do everything, right? I'm going to take on everything, I'm going to do my juices, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And how long does it last? How long does it actually last? Does it last like 14 days? Does it last less than that? Does it last like a week? Maybe it lasts a month. However, does it last any longer than that time? Probably not, because you're overwhelming yourself, you're giving yourself too much to do. For example, when you put too many things on your to-do list and you don't get them done in a day, how do you feel about that? How do you feel when you don't get all of your tasks done you were supposed to get done in a day? Because I used to feel very negative and upset, and sort of I'd beat myself up. I would internally beat myself up. In a dialogue would go crazy and I'd go, ugh! So what I'm trying to say is, in January, would it not make more sense to work on just one thing? Okay, work on one thing, building that habit, making it important, yeah? Having a reason to do it. Say for example juicing. Would it not make more sense to just do juicing through January and that's it? You're going to just focus on your juicing, exercise, you'll do bits and pieces. And then when February comes, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to start my yoga now as well, because you've had a month of juicing, which is going to install some very, very good habits, right? And yeah, yoga in February. In March, you're going to decide you're going to start planning all your food properly, yeah? But the point is, in 6 months' time, you're going to install 6 different habits, if you do one per month, that is. And I'm here to tell you that actually you can install new habits within a few days if you focus on just one thing and you make it important to yourself. With the techniques that I teach, you can install new habits within a few days. Yeah? And how can you do that? Because a lot of it is on here. If you know how this works, then it's very simple. For example, you don't need to develop a new habit when you burn yourself at the fire to say, I don't need to go to the fire ever again. You burn yourself once, you don't burn yourself many times again after that, because you learn, right? So what if you could learn that quickly, but with things like food and with things like exercise? Yeah, I'm here to tell you that you can. That there's just different tactics, strategies to do that, and that is what I teach my clients. However, back on task. January. Focus on one thing only. If you can focus on one thing and get a result with that, then move on to the other thing. Build on your knowledge, build on your habits. Like when you was at school, when you studied a maths exam, did you or did you not study for a year and do different modules until you got to your exam? Well, I did, so I'm guessing you did as well. The point there is, we build on our knowledge. We build on our knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until we've got enough to go to our exam. We go to our exam, we have a year or so worth of knowledge to then execute the exam. Yeah, we cram sometimes and what have you, but But the point is, it's taken a year to get that far. Now, if I said to you, look, you've studied 6 modules over a year, I'm going to give you all 6 modules to do right now, and you've got an exam to do in 7 days, how would you feel? Because I would feel overwhelmed. And it's kind of like going back to the menu situation and the January situation, and then what would happen? I would probably beat myself up and go, oh my God, I haven't got enough time to do this, and I would fail. Now, what I'm trying to say is, there's no such thing as throwing everything in the deep end. Don't throw yourself in the deep end. Some people can. I personally can't, and I know a lot of people I've worked with can't. Don't throw yourself in the deep end with all of these things to do when you can just take one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Alright? So January, 1 thing. February, 2 things. March, 3 things. Maybe it's quicker than that. But the point is, take one thing at a time.